Hello, ladies and gents. My name is John, and welcome to building Crait. If you don't know, Crait is basically the centerpiece of the main battle that takes place at the end of the latest Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi. I think the build is pretty cool. It contains most of the stuff from the movies, like the walker, the speeder, the giant wall, the door, which hasn't loaded in, the trenches, and all that stuff. Yep, I do apologize though for any movie inaccuracies, as I did make this before the movie came out on December 14th, and, yeah, so I didn't really have any reference material. I also apologize for any editing errors, as this is my first time ever using the replay mod, so cut me some slack. Like, if you don't know the replay mod, it's a tool for making really neat, recordings in Minecraft, which you'll see in a minute. But yeah, I have pretty crappy editing with that, first time ever using it, so yeah. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to show you the process of which I built it, and then a little showcase of the build at the end. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's jump right into it. Alright, so the first thing I built was a ski speeder. After making the ski itself, I started on the bottom of the fuselage. Now, I used obsidian for like a really crude representation of the air vents, but, you know, considering how clunky of a vehicle the ski speeder really is, I think it's pretty appropriate. Stone bricks were my primary material. I used it to build the fuselage around the air vents, and this eventually transitioned into the engine at the back, which is just like a circle with fins, like for rudders. Alright. So, after I built that, I made wings just like really quickly, rough draft, just so I could connect the gun and the cockpit. The cockpit is just kind of a simplified version of the fuselage, but with a canopy and just a bit narrower. I can't pronounce that. I used black stained glass for the canopy, which you could see right there, and it took a lot of trial of error because I didn't really like how stubby it was. But you know, it's kind of hard not to have something pointed in Minecraft because, yeah. Blocks. Now, then I started on the gun, which is a box with two prongs sticking out of it, also known as cobblestone, and yep, it looked pretty good. Moved it over once, and bam, there is the ski speeder. Alright, if you're really observant, you've probably noticed in the previous clip, there were mountains in the background. Regrettably, they turned out to be too short overall, and I didn't really fancy them too much. This resulted in me restarting like 6 times, as you can see here, until I finally found a solid design. Basically, I made a giant monument of sand and used brush tool, part of World Edit, to create an organic cut in them. Instead of leaving a nasty dent, the sand fell due to Minecraft physics, which created a nice looking ridge on top. Throughout the rest of Crait's construction, I copy and pasted this same section numerous times as the map grew in size. To hide the repetition, I blended it with the sphere brush, also part of the World Edit. This was done in preparation for the massive door I just cut out, as you can see. I terraformed the land around it to get a bit more of a organic feel, like it's built into the mountain. Alright, sorry for that terrible cut. Anyway, so after I made the main cut of the door, I cut a bunch of little holes in it for detail and added the little teeth at the bottom, as you can see. Now this pretty much created the scene where Leia's kind of looking out at the battle zone right before the battle begins, if you remember that. And after that, I terraformed it so it blends in again. As you can see here, just going with stone and just kind of smoothing it out, leaving less holes, and yeah. Alright, now this is an absolutely terrible transition and a cut off part of the next build, so I apologize for that. But yeah, here's when I began the turrets. Sorry, the beginning got cut off. Basically, I used clay, and orange sandstone to make the main base, which is basically stacked a couple times on top of each other. And then I made the turrets out of cobblestone. As you can see, it kind of just wraps around the back and the top, and boop, done. That was very fast. I copy and pasted it a couple times, and I didn't like how it turned out at first, so I redid it, as seen right there, and alright, so as I was saying, here are the trenches. They came next, and surprisingly, they were actually pretty fun to build. Crait is known for like its red soil, which lay beneath the salt flats. So I used red concrete powder to sort of simulate this effect with like the really grainy texture. And I copy and pasted one section a couple times. Kind of lazy and doesn't look too good, but, you know, I was on a limited time space when I did this, so I kind of had to go fast. The other part I did by hand, as you can see right here, that connects the four of them, the four in the back, and they're basically the same. I just, like, cut them, just kind of a ragged shape, dug them out by hand, did my regular trench design, and just kind of sprinkled it with red. Alright, something I actually forgot to include was the ski speeders themselves. I copy and pasted them across the battlefield a bunch of times, and put the little red trails behind them. As you can see here, I actually made the little spot where Finn like crashes into the ground in the trailer, that little red blotch right there, so that's a nice little trivia thing. The red trails, I blended them in a bit with the, oh, hello dog, sorry. I blended them in a bit before I made the trails, which I am doing right now. The trails behind them, like the red dust and soil, is mainly made of glass and concrete and those kind of materials, but I actually remade them in a unrecorded segment later in the video because I didn't really like how short they were, so yep, that's the ski speeders. I think they look alright. Like I said, I made them look a tad bit better later in the video, but yeah, just blended them in with the sky bit, and that's that. Okay, so the last thing I needed to do was build the walkers, which I really did not like how they turned out, but yeah. So I made the legs first. You can see me like going through and like world editing it a couple times in just a sec. After I made the details, made it look a bit nice. I actually made them wider before I copy and pasted them. There we go, there's copy and paste. So now I have all 4 legs. That was pretty fast. I connected them by making a frame and also just kind of adding those little joints at the bottom. Yeah, so after I made those, you can see I just kind of smoothed it out, added little details, and made the big kind of frame. This part was kind of hard, making the little panels on the side, because if you look really closely, they're indented just a tad, and that shape is like really difficult to get correct in Minecraft. So I went at that I probably worked on that for about half an hour, which is compressed into like, I don't know, like 20 seconds right here, just going through a bunch of different designs, seeing how they looked, and yeah. Crappy camera angle, I apologize for that. In a minute, I actually add details on the bottom because it was extremely bare. Just added like a tube going through it, seen right around here. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so as I pan around, I began on the head, which is really simple. It's mainly just like a rectangle with some details, a turret on the side. Here, you'll see it just in a sec. Right there. Oh yeah, the 2 guns at the front were also pretty essential, and a red cockpit, like, windshield. And other than that, that's practically the head, and yep, that's the AT-AT. I think it turned out alright, but not the best. Alright, ATM-6, the new walker. I did not have fun building this. It took about 6 tries to get right, and the proportions were really difficult. Eventually, I actually made the head too small, which one of these days I'll go back and fix, but I just kind of had enough of it at this point, so I didn't go fix it. Alright, so right here, I'm building the legs just as the other one, although new design, so there's kind of a flipper at the bottom, if you look. Like the AT-AT, I added like a kind of a joint for the legs to connect right there. Copy and pasted them a couple times. And I actually used the AT-AT leg for the back because they're around the same size, but the ATM-6 is a bit bigger, and the back legs are not the exact same, but they're pretty similar to the AT-AT. So I did that, and then I just made it a bit taller because the scale was a bit off. Unfortunately, this clip actually got cut off, so this is basically all of the AT-AT, or the ATM-6. I will go back and show you it in one sec, but yep, that's about it for the ATM-6. Alright, so before I conclude the video, let me just show you the ATM-6. Yeah, I'm really upset that that video got cut off because it was actually a pretty neat build process, but you know what? That's what happens when you try copy and pasting 40,000 blocks. Yikes. As you can see, the body is substantially bigger and doesn't have the same rectangular shape as the AT-AT. Let me just zoom out. So you see this like is practically a rectangle, more or less, but this, yeesh, that is kind of a big mess, like goes up, comes out, and just, yeah, they're pretty similar, though, aesthetically, as in, like, the heads have the same guns in the same places, both have a red canopy, similar color palette, with, like, the different shades of gray, but, yeah, that's the ATM-6. Alright, so, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know, like, my voice, like, I stutter a lot, it's kind of annoying, the mic quality is crap, but this video is, like, I've worked really hard to get at this point, to have a computer that can run it, to get an editing software, Bandicam, you know, just all that, and I've got most of the stuff I need to actually start recording videos. More of these kinds of videos will definitely come. I'm planning to do Scarif, a very possible Mos Eisley, and probably a solo movie one, so I could traffic off of, like, it being popular. But yeah, that's practically it for Crait. What is this? Alright, hold up. This is gonna bother me. Boop. Alright, yep. So, that is Crait. I hope you guys enjoyed. As I've said before, go easy on me in the comment section. First video, crappy voice, I get it. Yeah, alright. I'm gonna do a showcase now, and yep, so like if you like the video, dislike if you dislike the video, subscribe if you want to see more. Peace.